Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, we are taking a look at the Pipistrello. Kind of a goofy name, but an incredibly sexy car. And in today's video, we're going to be fully upgrading it, seeing its top speed, lap time capabilities, and whether or not this is a good $3 million purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, what really sucks is that only people that have GTA Plus are able to get their hands on this vehicle as of now, as it's being released this Thursday. So that is kind of trash bags. I don't know why Rockstar does that. Oh wait, that's right. They want your money. But that's not going to stop me from reviewing the car and giving you a slight early idea of how it's going to play. So let's start off with upgrading its armor. We got some trim designs which we can either do forged carbon, a primary trim, or a secondary trim. And personally, I think I'm going to go with a secondary trim. I really don't like the forged carbon that much. We got brakes that we're going to be putting on the vehicle. We're going to upgrade the engine. We got some grille designs. We can do a forged carbon, a secondary, and a primary, and then a carbon cross grille. We got another forged carbon. Then we got kind of a different grille design. Personally, I actually like this double split grille, so we're going to do a double split secondary grille. We got some hood designs. We can do a forged carbon or a secondary. I don't know how I feel about the whole car being secondary on the front or just normal. Oh, but I do like the way that kind of matches. However, I think I'm going to stick with probably competition vents. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, that looks pretty clean too, though. Race vents is very nice. We also got secondary triple vent. There's a lot of different hoods for this vehicle, and I actually like a lot of them. They look very, very nice. This is a really tricky design, but personally, I'm going to be sticking with competition vents. I just really like the way that sticks out. We're going to put xenon lights on the vehicle and move over to liveries. So we got white stripe, black stripe, overflawed white stripe, which we can see on the side there, and an overflawed black stripe. We've got geometry, which, it's alright. We've got street camo left, full street camo, race street camo, kind of an interesting one, and then Itachi 96. This is one of the most interesting camo I've ever seen put into the game. Personally, not my cup of tea. I'm not going to be putting that camo on the vehicle. Or not camo, but livery, should I say. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of any of these liveries. I mean, some of them are alright. I mean, the white stripe is what I'm going to be going with. But in general, I think Rockstar could have done a little bit better of a job when it comes to giving this vehicle livery options. When it comes to mirrors, I can either do none or we can put them on. I kind of like having mirrors on my car, so we're going to go with secondary mirrors. I think that's fine. We're going to put it doesn't really matter what license plate. We'll just do yellow on black and make our way over to the color of this vehicle. What do we want to paint it? We're going to be going with a shafter purple, and then as our secondary color, I'm going to be sticking with a matte black. I really like the way that this purple just kind of shines in the light. It's not too bright, doesn't make the car look obnoxious, but it's also really clean. And then when you pair that with this matte black that also has a bit of a pearlescent in it, honestly, I think that looks amazing. Now, the interior of the vehicle, I think we're just going to leave it as black because I don't want it to stand out too much from the exterior of the car. So in general, there's not much we really need to do in terms of respray. Now, we do have some roof designs. Let's start off with the big boys here. That's actually really cool. I like that full roof scoop. And then we've got a forged carbon roof scoop. I'm going to be going with the full one. I really like that there. So we can either do a secondary or primary. And yeah, we're going to be going with a primary. I like that a lot. We got some skirts we can put on the vehicle, and winged skirts are the way we're going. Those look freaking epic. We got some splitters on the front. We got an extreme splitter Mark IV. And then we can do a tiny difference. I actually like the Mark III better, I'm going to be honest. We've also got a cutout Mark IV. So we can either do this splitter or this big ol' one. Ooh, I kind of like the cutout, actually. Yeah, I don't know. Both of these are really good. Ooh, I kind of like this one better. It's a bit more sleek, and I like that. So we're going to be sticking with that splitter, and then the others are honestly pretty basic. We got spoiler designs, a GT wing. Ooh, forged carbon overflawed wing. That looks sick. All right, we're going to go with a secondary overflawed wing. Oh, that one looks sick too, though. Oh, there's so many good options for this car when it comes to spoilers. I like this. That one's all right. What the heck is that, bro? That is not a spoiler. That's a disgrace. If anybody puts that on their car, I'm disappointed in you. Ooh, I'm really confused on which one I like. Both of these are really cool, but I think I'm going to stick with this absolutely goofy one here, the Overflod wing. I think that looks epic. We got some sun strips. I'm going to do a primary sun strip. That looks, actually, you know, fine. We'll stick with the secondary. Competition suspension. We're going to put turbo tuning on the vehicle. Personally, I actually don't love these rims. So we're going to be doing my classic chrome rim design on this vehicle, putting bulletproof tires, and to finish it off, you're going to put the limo tinted windows. So let's take a look at how this vehicle is in the sunlight here. And honestly, this is one of the coolest supercars Rockstar has put into the game in a very long time. I think the spoiler looks amazing. I really like the design. Everything about this car looks amazing. It has great customization. Some of the cars have been hit or miss in customization, but this one, it looks really, really cool. I'm just a big fan of this car in general. But obviously, we arrived to one of the most important things about any car, and that is, how does it drive? What is its top speed, and how does it handle? Well, let's make our way over to the highway and figure out its top speed. When you think of a supercar, you think of speed. However, while this vehicle may look like a speed demon, it's actually quite the opposite. As we can see, we are going 100 miles per hour right now. Acceleration-wise, this car is pretty quick, especially when you realize that we are already at its top speed. In fact, we're slightly over it. 118 miles per hour is the Pipistrello's top speed. That makes this one of the slowest supercars in the entire category. And no, this car does not feature HSW upgrades either. So yeah, it's just not a fast supercar. However, as I've been over in the past, speed is not always key. And a lap time is just as important. So let's bring it over to the lap time and see what it's got going for it. Taking a quick look at this vehicle's top speed, it actually ranks it in the 46th position out of the 59 supercars in the game. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That means this is in the bottom 20% of supercars. Oof, that is not a very good number to be having going for yourself in 2024. Acceleration-wise, the car is very nice. Easily gets up to 120 miles per hour, which is quite good. But the handling, well, that's the real question we're going to be having here. Is the handling good enough to make up for this really, really bad top speed? Honestly, I'm going to tell you, the handling isn't too great on this car. In fact, I think the Niobe, which is the sports car with HSW capabilities, that car has better handling than this supercar, which is kind of goofy because I was really expecting this car to have incredible handling, but I don't know, its grip is kind of mediocre. This uphill variant here is where everything is going to be important though, so let's see how well we can control it uphill. So far it's actually doing a pretty good job. We're handling it very well. Keep going, and beautiful. Okay, a little wide on the corner, but we did a decent job, and we're already up to 110 miles per hour through the corner here. Had to lose a little bit of speed, though, to make it around that area without dying. Okay, well, we are halfway through, and now we are on the downhill track. 120, 123... and not too fast. That's one downside that you're going to have to keep in mind about this car. Again, it's just, it really seems to be limited by its top speed, which is a bit unfortunate. All right, here we go. Down the road, the twisty, windy road, holding this corner tight. Nice. That's a pretty good corner there. Let's do this one as well. Obviously, you want to take these corners as tight as you can, and you're going to keep your momentum and speed. So that's what we're doing here. And so far, it's doing an all-right job at that, actually. I mean, while its handling isn't as good as I'd want it to be, it's still not bad. I mean, if you compare the handling on this to, you know, something like a Pfister 811, yeah, it's all right. But it's definitely nothing to write home about, especially when we're literally only going 118 miles per hour at max. The Virtue is very similar on top speed, but the difference is the Virtue has much better acceleration, which should allow it to do way better in the cornering department. But here we go. We are now on the final stretch, and I'm holding the gas as hard as I can. Got to get around this corner here. Okay, not bad. Get around this corner, and we are now finished. I mean, 2 minutes and 22 seconds is not a bad lap time at all. That's actually pretty close to a lot of the other pretty good supercars. So I'm rather surprised with how slow this vehicle's top speed is and how weird the handling was, how good I was actually able to finish the course in. But at the same time, you do need to remember that even a vehicle like the Balakan Envisage, which is a sports car, was able to get a slightly better lap time. So yeah, in terms of lap time, while this car isn't anything bad, it's also nothing crazy and a lot of the newer sports cars in the game are way better. In fact, the HSW Niobe was able to get a 2-minute 6-second lap time, completely leaving the supercar in the dust. So, I don't think this is an awful car, but at the same time, when you can get your hands on an Ocelot Virtue for free, which not only accelerates faster but has a higher top speed, I just feel like the Virtue's a much better choice, especially when you realize it features Amani Tech capabilities. I mean, looks-wise, this car is incredible. It's definitely one of the best supercars that Rockstar's released into the game in that department, but looks don't mean everything, and performance is one thing you'll have to keep in mind. Now, the good news is the handling isn't bad, so if you do like the look of this car, and you don't care about the handling that much, it's still a good car to drive, it's still decently fast and fun to mess around with, so I'm not going to say it's a bad price for anything, but $3 million is very expensive for a supercar. In fact, I think this is the most expensive vehicle that has been released in the update, so yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.